Do you have any stories about Patrice's funeral? As there is no footage of it. I miss his comedic opinions. I believe he'd be #1 in comedy if he was alive today. Oh my God, it was like a roast. It was like a roast. Anthony chose not to be a pallbearer. That made a lot of people like kind of mad at him. Like, what do you mean you're not going to be a pallbearer? He had some weird excuse, something about like he doesn't like that type of thing, and people are like, who does? Who does? So I was a pallbearer with Norton and Bob Kelly, and who else was a pallbearer? I think Dane Cook. I think Kevin Hart was a pallbearer. And then after the wake, we're all in a back hallway, just standing there with the coffin, and Chris Rock comes down the hall. It's like it was so surreal. It was so bizarre. In any other circumstance, you're hanging out with Dane Cook and Kevin Hart and Chris Rock, and then McKelly and Norton were there, obviously, and others, and in any other situation, you'd be like, holy crap, this is cool. But we're just hanging with a casket and a dead body, and Chris Rock comes walking up the hallway in tears. And he's like, he just gave us all a message. He's like, take care of yourselves. Take care of yourself. That's all I remember from Chris Rock as he's in tears after the service. Take care of yourselves. And then all of a sudden, I remember the coffin was just in the hallway as everyone was leaving the church. And I'm like, I guess we just leave Patrice here now, I guess, and join our families? Like, what? But besides that, then everyone went up and had something to say about Patrice, and it was really funny. It was really sad. It was everything in between. But I don't know why you would think there'd be footage of this there, Muggsy Brady. And then and then Will. I always forget his last name. He's a comic, really good guy. We had to be at the church early, and we were on the altar of the church, where the coffin was going to be, and we're all just sitting up there. The whole world hates me. Okay, thank you, sir. No, you do, for whatever reason. Why you hate little old me? What did I do to you? I presented one of the greatest radio shows of all time, but the world hates me. Okay, sure, whatever you say. And then so we're on the altar, and we're all sitting around with the coffin. Stop with Anthony. People ask me about Anthony. I would love to stop with Anthony if you want to know the truth. For real, I would love it. I would love it. My mistake is people bring it up every day, and I take the bait. That's my mistake. But if people aren't bringing it up, I'm not really going to talk about Anthony that much at all. And I probably would start finding the stuff that I would probably try to start finding the stuff that was kind of fun and cool. There's not a lot as far as where I sit, because we just didn't get along. But I would find that stuff. I'll make a promise to you. Don't bring it up in the chat. Because I guess I had times a week and I take the bait. But if you don't bring it up, for the most part, I won't be talking about it. No problem. Trust me, no problem. So the casket's at the front of the church. This story is insanely horrific. And, it was all us pallbearers. I don't know exactly if everybody was there at this point. I think they were. The church was empty. People were waiting outside. We're getting ready, kind of getting instructions what to do. And we're just standing there, and the priest is talking to us, and everyone is like really distracted because we're just looking at this coffin. And then Will, you could block the word Anthony in the chat. Ooh, that's not. Yeah, but what if someone wants to talk about Anthony Bourdain, Ginzo? And Ginzo, did you explain like that weird comment? I have no problem talking about stuff. If you think I misrepresented or told a story differently or whatever, I'd love to hear from you. And if I pumped it up or I misrepresented it, fine, let's go through it. No problem. And then we're just distracted. We're barely listening to the priest, right? Basement at the beach. Well, not really. I call it the basement, but when you have a house out here, you got to be on stilts way up high. I mean, way up high. It's insane. So technically this is the lower level, but I think below me is another 8 feet of pylons. But And then Will, who used to room with Patrice, basically said, F this, marched up to the coffin and opened it up. And we all just stared at Patrice, dead in a coffin. Dead in a coffin. So maybe Anthony did the right thing by not wanting to be part of this. Maybe he's right in the end. And also, we're all just like, and all the guys that were at the front of the church, none of us knows how to shut the fuck up. But man, when Will opened up that coffin and we're just staring at Patrice, wow. I know it's so stupid to say this, but you literally could hear a pin drop. No one said a word. No one said a word. I wrote it. You skipped it, Ginzo. All right. Well, you had a chance to write it again. I believe it or not, I have a very active chat. I don't even read half this stuff. I just throw it on the big screen. So it's like a show within a show. If you're bored with what I'm saying, there's some fine stuff being said in the chat that I throw on the big screen. But you could hear a pin drop. But Will was like, "Fuck this! I want to see the guy," because it wasn't an open casket. And I don't know. I mean, he absolutely looked like he could like sit up and join us. That's what's so creepy about that.